All right, adding a little Greek drama to what's going on a half a world away. The Greeks are saying that they don't like all the onerous provisions that European lenders are throwing at them. And we were telling about a number of top officials who said, no, we're not going to be going along with this. But a top Greek finance minister, whose name is all consonants, so I'm not even going to bother pronouncing, he has just said, we can get something done. And until these Greek authorities come up with an easier way to pronounce their names, I'm just not going to quote Cyprus. I can get him, but all the others, come on, guys, you're going to have to help me out. All I know is they're saying that tomorrow they think they can gobble together a deal. We shall see. All right, I know how to pronounce this guy's name, Ben Stein, on this Greek ultimatum. You know, Ben, I'm going to go forward here and say something gets done. It always does. But we just sort of kick the can down the road, and then we revisit the same soap opera. Where are we going with this? Is the European Union, does it have a future? Should it have a future?
Well, I never understood what the purpose of it was in the first place. I still don't understand what the purpose of it was. I don't think it's added much to economic growth. But, of course, something will get done eventually. I mean, they'll go up to the edge. They'll yell and scream, then they'll go up to the edge again. But an awful lot of life is about kicking the can down the road. That's what the U.S. government situation is.
You're absolutely right.
Kicking the can down the road.
But is it worth it kicking the can for this?
Ever bigger deficits?
I'm sorry, but is it worth it kicking the can down the road for this? I never thought the European Union made sense. It's a club that only Germany qualifies to be in, and they were trying to make it the equivalent of the United States. But, of course, we're states that answer to the same government. I don't know. It just seems on paper that if it were to go kablooey, I could imagine it would be very disruptive. But I can imagine life would eventually go on.
It would very much eventually go on. Europe is an incredibly productive, powerful set of nations economically, no longer militarily. And of course, life would go on. And in a way, I think maybe we should end the drama by just saying, OK, Greece drop out, default. People will make money buying the bankrupt bonds. Eventually, there'll be some payment back of it. I mean, life does go on. The economy of a free market society is extremely supple and resilient, and it will be this time, too.
You know, the fear is that Portugal, Spain, even France could follow. What do you think?
France is a terribly rich country. I don't think it could happen to France. Spain is recovering incredibly well from its problems, although it's still got a lot of unemployment. Portugal, I don't know anything about. But I think the point here is, if there was no great urgency to making the European Union in the first place, if it falls apart, there'll be no great catastrophe for it or for the rest of the world. The world will go on. It's a very, very adaptable people, us human beings.
Real quickly, Ben, we also have another deadline ticking down, and that is on this nuke deal with Iran. As you know, the Iranians, the mullahs, the supreme leader have been saying you're not going to be able to police our stockpiles or whatever it is we want to check on. So we can trust them, but we just can't do the Ronald Reagan thing and verify them, right? So isn't that the makings of a bad deal right there? Because we seem to want a lot more than they do. I think this is the worst.
I think this behavior by Mr. Obama regarding Iran is the worst betrayal in terms of defense and foreign policy that the United States has ever done. It's an incredibly disastrous deal. I cannot understand what motivates Mr. Obama to be so eager to make the deal. We know no good is going to come of it. God bless him if he really wants peace. We all do. But how this deal is going to get us to anything but a nuclear-armed Iran is impossible for me to see.
All right, Ben Stein, I want to thank you as always, my friend. Great having you.
Thank you.
In the meantime, you heard Ben mentioning President Obama. He is expected to deliver the eulogy at that South Carolina funeral for the state senator and pastor who was killed